She is the president of her company, Millennial Money Magnet, and has plans to tour the country with her financial literacy workshops. Nadine, the Millennial Mom Money Expert, is here to help you better understand how to be money savvy, build a personalized financial game plan to achieve the lifestyle you want, and do it with the least amount of compromise for you and your family. And that is something that we all want and we all need, so it's a pleasure to have you. So without further ado, Snadine, please take the floor and I will be your student. So everyone, make sure you are on mute for those who just got here. Phones on mute, computers on mute. It's all about Snadine right now. Thank you so much, Snadine, for being here.
Oh my goodness, Silva, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out and wanting me to be one of your speakers. I am ever so delighted. So thank you so much. So I heard the introduction and I heard what you said at the end, but you know what? I actually love to see an interactive class. So if it's okay with you, Silva, if I may ask for your permission, if everybody can be unmuted, because I want everybody to talk to me. I'm that kind of girl. How y'all feeling today?
Yes,
everybody
absolutely.
alive? You guys are COVID survivors. Give it up for yourself.
Yes.
How is everybody? Beth, thanks for joining. I see Fahad in the house. Thank you for supporting me. And I see I see Marissa Gay. Thank you, Marissa, for reposting our flyer on your Facebook. I did notice that. So I'm connecting with you all. Hello, everybody. I go by the name, the Millennial Mom Money Expert. My job is to get people out of debt and to have you thriving in your finances, okay? So for those of you that are muted, you can unmute yourself because my presentations will be interactive and I want to hear your voices. You guys are alive. I want to hear you. Can you unmute everybody all at once?
Yeah, I can. Hold on.
Okay, great.
I'm actually rushing to the house right now, guys. So I have it on mute, and when I get in, then I'm going to unmute. But I'm still outside, but I'm watching and I'm listening.
Okay, great. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and at the very end of my presentation, I'll leave in the chat how people can get in touch with me and everything else. And what my only ask is this. I am currently my YouTube channel. So I'm asking if you guys can please follow my YouTube channel. It's under Schneiding the Magnet. I am growing and that is my only goal. If you guys can subscribe and to hit the notification bell because the sister needs help with that. That's all I'm asking. All right, so I'll leave that information at the end in our chat, okay? Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah.
Y'all ready to start? Okay, so this time, can I share my presentation? The first presentation will be the saving and budgeting, which is the one that we went through over the class, but now I've tweaked it up a little bit, you know what I mean? And then the second presentation will be the one with stocks, okay? And it's gonna be very short. I understand I have a half hour. I'm gonna do my best so the next presenters can get on, okay? Is that fair?
Awesome.
Okay, great. Let's see about the share screen now. Okay, you might wanna put me on as the host to share the screen, Silva, please.
Okay, check now.
Okay. Okay, looks like it's working for me. All right, so we are here. Okay, financial literacy. All right. So, financial freedom, get out of the red and into the black. That means, brothers and sisters, it's time for us to get our finances in order, stop having a negative bank account and transfer over to the black, which is the positive, where you see some dollars. You wanna see some commas in your accounts. So I have a course, which is a 6-week sneak peek, which is an action steps course. And we talk all things financials with monetizations, with budgeting and everything else in between for 6 weeks on how you can get your finances in order. If you guys are interested in that course, you let me know at the very end or send me a private message. Either is fine. Okay, a lot of people want to do different things with their money, right? What do you want from your money? Some people want to pay off their credit cards. Some people want to invest $200 a month on a mutual fund. Some people want to save for vacations. I love vacations. Some people want to save enough money for a 20% deposit on a house. Some people want to stop fighting with their partner or spouse in regards to money. Some people want to get a better grasp of their expenses so they're not always behind on their bills. Some people want to pay off their student bills or their student loans. Some people want to save for their children's college education. Everyone has a different motive when it comes to money. So, Career Builder reports that nearly 10% of Americans with salaries of $100,000 or more still live paycheck to paycheck. If you guys are unmuted, can you say paycheck to paycheck?
Paycheck to paycheck.
Yes, paycheck to paycheck, I promise you, that is not the way to live, right, Beth? You got me, girl.
No.
No, we're not living paycheck to paycheck, no. That means many workers aren't even able to put anything significant into savings. More than 50% of the respondents, they say that they save less than $100 per month. That is crazy, you guys. And a comparable to the 2017 survey from Gold Banking Rates Fund, that 61% of Americans don't have enough money in their emergency fund to cover 6 months worth of expenses. Now, this was a rude awakening because COVID-19 happened. And if people were being very smart and putting at least $50 or $25 away, they would not be trying to pay off their bills once they had the reality of, hey, they gotta stay home. Now everybody needs to pivot and figure out how they're gonna make ends meet. But if you already were very business savvy, financially savvy, you wouldn't have to worry about it because you already had thousands in your account. You feel me? So you're not scrambling. And when you scramble, you panic, you tend to make a lot of mistakes in life. So we have to plan for our financial futures. Okay. All right, so this is one of my favorite slides, and I want you guys to be interactive with me and talk with me. I want to hear you. And please repeat after me, okay? Are you guys here with me? Can I hear you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right, so please repeat after me. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to live in worry.
I won't live in
I'm not going to live in worry.
I'm not going to live in doubt.
I'm not going to live in doubt.
I'm not going to live in fear.
I'm not going to
live in fear.
These are affirmations that you're saying to yourself because you want to breathe life into your life and into your finances. The affirmation at the bottom says, and then you repeat after me, I control money.
I control money.
I won't let money control me.
I won't let money control me.
Yes, you got to feel it, you got to say it and mean it. You feel me? So yes, that's the affirmation for you guys for now. So next slide. Hi, young executive. Thanks for joining the room. Budgeting is a part of managing your personal finances. Consider one of these methods, the 50-20-30 method. That is, if you can pay your bills with 50% of your income, then apply 20% towards your savings, your debt reduction, and 30% to personal spending. That includes vacations, dining out or ordering in, personal shopping. This method allows you to have fun and save at the same time. For those of you who spend majority of their income on living expenses, then you can try a similar method, which is the 60-20-30 budget instead, okay? All right, next slide. All right, the cash-based budgeting system. It works well for overspenders. I'm guilty. Sometimes I am an overspender, but I have to learn how to really prioritize my spending. This method, it helps you cut out excessive spending on debit and credit cards because this method calls for withdrawing physical cash and putting them in pre-labeled envelopes for your expenses like groceries, clothing, and even gas, okay? The envelope system. Okay, and we have another system, it's called a zero-based budget. At any time, guys, you're free to take screenshots, and I want you guys to tag me so I know that you guys were in the room, and I can also follow you back on social media or Instagram, whatever it is that you're on. Okay, the zero-based method, this budget is a strict system. And this strict system is it's great for accounting for all of your income, all right? You budget for your expenses and your bills and assign any extra money to your goals. It's also good for people trying to pay off debt as fast as possible, and it helps improve your credit. Can we say improve credit?
Improve credit.
Improve credit.
Yes, that's what we want. We want to improve credit. Okay, so we have something too. People have different ways of thinking. People are stuck on some ways of thinking. So I'm going to talk to you guys about this old way of thinking, and then you're going to hear the new way of thinking, okay? Can we say old way of thinking?
Old way of
Old
thinking.
way of thinking.
Okay, old way of thinking. Some people say, I will never get out of credit card debt. I hate dealing with money or investing it, and I believe I am not capable of doing it well. I will never have enough money to support myself and my family. Do y'all want to hear the new way of thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so the new way of thinking sounds a little something like this. I am totally debt-free. Can we say that together?
I am totally
I
debt
am
free.
totally debt free.
I am skilled at investing my money and love doing it.
I'm
am
skilled at
skilled
investing my
investing
money
and
love doing it.
Yes, I have more than enough money to support myself and my family.
I have
more than enough money to support myself and
My family.
Do you guys see the difference with your mind frame of thinking when you say it out loud?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a big difference there. All right, so we are going to go into a little bit of saving tips because I love to save money. This helps for a rainy day like COVID, for example. All right, so a little saving tips when it comes to food, because with me, I am a big eater. I love to eat, and these are my tips for eating. Avoid going out to expensive dinners or skip brunches. Or in this case, avoid ordering from expensive restaurants when you're ordering in. Cook more meals from home, which is exactly what we're doing now. Okay, some people buy store brands and generics. Hold on one moment. Some people buy store brand or generics. I would also advise for you guys to sign up for Groupon.com and Living.com. That way you guys can save on dinners for 40 to 60% off, and even household items, and even entertainment. Whatever it is, you will be guaranteed to get 40 to 60% off if you use Groupon.com and LivingSocial.com. Have you guys used them before? Are you guys familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
Familiar.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So for shelter, some people want to get a roommate or rent out a room to gain more income. That's really being savvy right there, because sometimes people have extra rooms in their house and they're like, yo, I have a spare room. I can actually rent it out for someone who needs it and gain some money. And if you're a homeowner with a multi-family home, you can rent upstairs or downstairs and have additional income coming in, right? Yes. Some people or college students, they go back to their parents' house and they save more money that way. And the best tip is always living under your means. You don't want to buy $1 million home when you have earnings of $50,000 or $60,000. You won't be able to pay for your mortgage if you lose your job. So always live under your means, all right? Okay. Some saving tips for transportation. Shop around for the best auto insurance rates, which change every 6 months. Especially now with insurance companies, with COVID happening, a lot of different insurance companies, if you gave them a call and they were actually willing to negotiate with you to having 2 to 3 months of you not paying insurance company. That's one. The second thing they were doing is not only letting you freeze your insurance payments, but they were also doing credits for different insurance companies. The third thing too is if you call a different insurance company with different better rates after you were in 3 or 4 months in, I'm pretty sure you were able to get a better rate than the one that you had currently. So always shop around, especially when you're at your 3 or 4 month rate with your insurance company, because I'm pretty sure another company will give you a better rating. Okay, share Uber rides or carpool and take turns driving. Okay, since now we're going back into the world, people want to be, you know, very savvy with their money, share Uber rides or carpool. Now you can't really take too much public transportation. You still have to be careful. So that's what I suggest, carpooling. All right. So next slide. Clothing. I love this because I love clothes. I love fashion. But a way for you to start saving money is really unsubscribing to all sites that will tempt you to buy more clothing, which includes makeup and household items too. Unsubscribe to all of those unnecessary sites for now to save money if you have a goal. Shop in the clearance racks, okay, or shop online with discounts. Shop out of season. If it's summer, buy winter. If it's winter, buy summer clothes.
Yes, ma'am.
And always, always, always ask for discounts when checking out, because everything is negotiable even when they're not for sale. Y'all heard that? Always. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And lastly, for this portion, which is health. Health is very important because, yes, health is always important, especially now. Treat your body correctly. Quit smoking, it costs. The reason why I'm saying this is being a smoker affects your life insurance. You pay higher rates when you're applying for insurance or whole insurance, term insurance, life insurance, all of that. There's a questionnaire there. They ask you if you are a smoker and you have to answer it properly. Okay, so help yourself and live longer. All right, y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank
Yep.
you for joining me for the savings and budgeting tips. That was a small portion. I want to jump right. Okay, any questions really quick before I jump into the ETFs, stocks? I want to see you guys. I see you. We're good to go?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm good.
No, did anybody have something to say before I move on?
You're doing good.
Okay.
A lot of good info.
Great. You want my info?
I said it's a lot of good info. Thank you.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, so let me get into the second slide really quick since I have a few more minutes, right? We're good on time?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good on time. You're good.
Okay, great. So let me talk to you guys about stock investing for beginners. This was a foreign language to me. I didn't understand it. Okay, I have to be with you guys. I was like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? The Dow Jones is down today. The market crashed. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I took it upon myself to take some courses and to really learn what exactly is stock markets, what's ETFs, things like that. So I'm here to break it down for you guys a little bit, and you guys can tell me what you think and see if this is anything that interests you, because this is definitely a different language. All right, so are we ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yeah, okay,
ready?
let's dive right in. All right. So a lot of people don't teach people what are stocks or stock markets or ETFs, but now it's time to change that. And this is why I dived right in to learn a little bit more to help our communities, because us people, we need to know a little bit more on how to make some money, passive income while we're sleeping. And I've been doing this for a little while now, and I finally got it together. So what is an ETF stock? Okay, first and foremost, you guys got to know that the stock market, they have different hours. Their stock market hours, they're open from Monday to Friday, and they're open at 9:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. The market is not open on the weekend. It's just a Monday to Friday type of thing, okay? ETF is an exchange traded fund, which is a back of securities you buy or sell through a brokerage firm, a stock exchange. But now we also can buy stocks on different apps, and I'm going to show you guys that, okay? All right. So
Hey,
ETFs generally say that again?
Hey, are you pulling up a slide? Because I'm not sure if I see anything on here.
Yeah, same.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, let me stop this sharing.
On my end, it's still showing that the health and smoking part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that out loud.
No problem.
All right, let me try that again. I'll go into second slide. All right. Okay, do you guys see my slide now?
Not yet.
Do you guys see it?
Not yet. There we go. Yeah. Now we're there.
I see it now.
Okay, I guess there was a delay. All right, great. So all together. All right, so stock investing for beginners. Now, talk about what is the ETF stock, exchange traded fund, which is a basket of securities to buy or sell through a brokerage firm or on a stock exchange. All right, ETFs generally provide investors diversification, which can help balance risk. Okay, a lot of people don't want to get into ETFs or stocks because they're like, yo, if I'm going to invest my money, the hard-earned money, I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to teach you how you can invest properly and also keep your money safe, all right? Because the market's always going up or down, it fluctuates. So ETF share prices, they do fluctuate all day as the ETF is brought in and sold. This is different from the mutual funds that only trade once a day after the market closes. ETFs can contain all types of investments, including stocks, commodities, bonds. Some offer US only holdings, while others are international. Just like there's a variety of mutual funds, there's a variety of ETFs. And I'm gonna break it down for you guys in the next slide so you guys can understand that a little bit better. Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. ETFs also offers low expense ratios and fewer broker commissions than buying the stocks individually. All right. So now let's break this down a little bit because this is a lot to digest. It's a foreign language. I want to learn what she's talking about. Is this girl crazy? No, I'm not. So let's break it down a little bit. Beth, you know I gotta put some
I know
jokes
you're
there.
not. No, you're good.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about what is an index ETF. Index ETFs, some well-known examples in the SPDR, which is Spider, and S&P 500 ETF, which tracks the S&P index, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The ETF can obtain many types of investments, including stocks, commodities, bonds, or other mixtures of investment types. An exchange-traded fund is marketable security, meaning it has an associated price that allows it to be easily bought and sold. Okay, so you buy it and you can also sell it for a higher price and make some profits. All right, so let's break it down a little bit more. Types of ETFs. Let's talk a little bit about bond ETFs. That might include government bonds, corporate bonds, and state and local bonds called municipal bonds. Sorry guys, I got tongue tied there. Industrial ETFs. It tracks particular industries such as technology, banking, or oil and gas sectors, okay? Let's talk a little bit about commodities. That ETF, it invests in commodities, including crude or oil and gold, and silver too, okay? Don't forget the silver. Silver is also in commodities. All right, currency ETFs. Invest in foreign currencies such as euro and Canadian dollars. Okay, inverse ETFs attempt to earn gains from stock declines from shorting stocks. Shorting is selling a stock expecting a decline in value and repurchasing it at a lower price. I know this is a lot to digest, guys. Okay, how does one buy and sell an ETF? ETF trades through online brokerage and traditional broker dealers. You can view some of the top brokers in the industry for ETFs with Investopedia's list of the best brokers for ETFs. An alternative to standard brokers are robo-advisors like Berterment and Wealthfront, who make use of ETFs in their investment products. People can also buy ETFs from Fidelity, from TD, and Vanguard, okay? All right. So when you buy ETF, some people you could buy on apps too. So apps that you can buy to invest are Robinhood. I know a lot of people know that already. Robinhood, hello? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wasn't sure. Okay. Robinhood is a pioneer of commission-free investing. It gives you more ways to make more money, work harder. Invest any amount on Robinhood. Choose how many you want to invest and convert from dollars to parts of a whole share. You can also build a balanced portfolio on Robinhood, and you can customize your portfolio with pieces of different companies and fund to help reduce risk. You can also trade in real time. That is important. Trades placed during market hours are executed at the time, so you'll always know the share prices because the share prices go up and down all day long. Another place you could buy ETF are actually on Cash App. Did you guys know you could actually invest in Cash App? Do you guys know there's Cash App investing on your phone?
Interesting.
Yes, you can actually do investing. So Cash App investing lets you own a slice of your favorite company with as little as $1. Okay, can we say $1?
$1.
$1.
I'm sure everybody can afford $1. So on Cash App, you can sell stock you've purchased using that app. You can manage your portfolio with Cash App investing. You can do merges, stock splits, and more. You can also do the corporate actions will affect the stocks you own in various ways. You can also have the dividends, which are the portion of the monies paid to shareholders. Taxes and investing, there are personal implications for trading stocks using Cash App Invest. Security and investing. Cash App Investing LLC is a registered broker-dealer member of FINR and SIPC. That's very important for you guys to know, okay? All right. Y'all ready for the next slide? Say ready.
Ready.
Are we ready?
Ready.
She ready. She ready. Okay. Some people, so invest acorns. You want to, some people don't. It's really up to you with the acorns, right? Acorns help you grow your money. Take control with all-in-one investment and more. Okay, invest your spare change. Can we spare change?
Spare change.
Okay, yes. Set aside the leftover change from everyday purchases by turning on automatic roundups. Okay, later. Get acorns later. Your easy automated retirement account. You can also grow your knowledge on it. Learn and more from your money with ease. With easy to understand articles and videos from financial experts. That's very good to know. Okay. So after those 3 apps that I'm sharing with you, so far, apps can you get from the stocks? What are they? A little review. Anybody know?
I'm sorry.
The 3 apps that you can invest in.
Oh.
Yes. What are the apps that you can use to invest for stocks?
Acorns,
Robinhood, Cash App.
and Cash App.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys are paying attention. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about dividends. Dividends are important. Dividends is when the companies are paying you for being a shareholder. Let's break this down a little bit. What is it? Dividend is a dividend stock is a business that regularly pays out dividends to shareholders, often in the form of cash. How do we say cash?
Cash.
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 Yes, there are 4 important dates to remember with dividends. Declaration date, date of record, dividend date, and the payment date, okay? The process. What is the process with this? On declaration date, the board of directors announces dividends, and you must be a shareholder by the ex-dividend date to receive dividend. Okay? Don't just jump on board thinking, oh, they're going to have a payout and I'm going to jump on board. No, you already have to be there before that time comes. Okay? That's very important to know. All right. The pay date. Because some people try to be slick. Oh, I'm getting that round. No, you got to be there before.
Right.
The pay date. The payment dates is when you will actually receive the dividend. Most companies pay dividends out quarterly. All right. So you want to be a part of that quarterly payout. And research. When searching for dividend stocks, keep an eye on the dividend yield, okay? And payout ratio. Sometimes a high yield indicates trouble or unsustainable payouts. So those are tips you gotta really look out for, okay, guys? All right. Okay, so you gotta build a diversified portfolio. And I'm sharing my personal one from a few months ago. So you guys take a look at this. This is my, I'm sharing, I'm being transparent. You can't get more transparent than that. Okay, so you got to keep it real and all the way funky.
That's right.
So I love my portfolio. I have I think about 23 or so different companies now that I invested in. Such as Walmart, Costco, Apple, Nike. If you could afford a pair of Nikes, you need to be owning a pair of their be a shareholder for them. Okay? No, I'm serious, you guys. If a pair of Nikes is $150 a share now for Nike, when I purchased it a few months back, I believe it was about $80.
Wow.
So if you're owning a pair of Nikes, you should be owning a pair of their shares, okay? And be a share with them and be like, yo, I got this. And I mean that. So if you like Apple, be a shareholder. They just had a payout and I got a dividend from them. I got a payout from Walmart and then Costco too. Like they're really paying out, guys. So I'm sharing this to be transparent with you and to be, very transparent and really share this. So with my portfolio, I invested with Cash App. because there are zero brokerage fees. Yes, I said zero brokerage fees. And right now, you always got to do the opposite. Warren Buffett always says, you got to do the opposite of what everybody is doing. COVID, nobody was traveling. Nobody was going through ships. So what did I do? Being a smart investor, you got to have an investor mind. I signed up and I purchased a share of Norwegian Cruise Line. And in a day, I had a profit of $57.44 in a day. On top of that, the same day, these are all profits in one day. I also had JetBlue, which was 17 profit. I had Nike, one day, 23.37 profit. Royal Caribbean, 27.63, and SPR, which is Spider. I selected the fund financial realm. That is all of the financial worlds together. That's Wells Fargo. That's Wells Fargo, Bank of America, it's Citibank, it's TD Bank, all of these together, a combination of 46 Wealth. You guys have to remember, so in the banks, so they always having a profit. That and oil, okay? Tip, oil and financial industry, okay? So always bank on money and always bank on oil.
Okay.
So that's just a portion of it. Yes, sometimes it's gonna go down. Just recently, all of the other companies are going down in the market, but that's to happen. So that's why you always have to have a little bit of extra money stashed away, right? So you're not hit so much when you lose it, okay? And again, I can show you how to do this. So I got this. Become a stakeholder, right? I also am a shareholder with Delta, and they sent me a message and they said, hey, Schneiding, you have the option to vote during Delta Airlines Inc. upcoming annual meeting. This is because you own Delta Airlines Inc. stocks as of April 30th, okay? Typically, shareholders vote to approve new board members, large operational shifts to the company stock ownership changes, and top executive salaries, okay? Vote online or by phone now or in by 18, 2020. And then I shared this with my Instagram. I shared and I said, you guys start owning shit, okay? I mean
right.
I really do, because they're not gonna waste their time sending you this if you're not owning anything. You guys gotta start owning stuff. That's very important. I can't stress that enough, because I was tired of being broke, y'all. I was working corporate, getting up, going to work while I was pregnant, being talked to. Even if you got a degree, these efforts are still talking to you any type of way that they feel like it. And I'm like, yo, I don't want no more. So I'm happy since last year, I have been really working for myself and creating my own table. So I don't have to beg anybody for anything. Right. So I press upon that to you guys so you guys can do the same, okay? And this is one of my favorite parts. You gotta build generational wealth. And I mean this. These are my two little girls. And I work hard to provide for them. Do you guys see this? I work to provide for them. Okay, and this is my little daughter. I'm teaching her currently on money, on funds, how to save money. Anytime we have a little something, I say, baby, you're gonna go put that in your piggy bank? Yes, mommy, we have to save. We have to save. Yes, we have to save because things like this happen. You gotta work on for your children. So it's time that we start working smart, guys. And I said all that to say this. I am going to have a class next week. So you guys can register for my stock webinar. I'm going to go into full detail for 2 hours on all the ways that you can make money in your sleep, get payouts with dividends from different companies, and really grow financially. So it's time that we level up and do this. Learn how I personally went from being broke to being a shareholder, how to research and analyze stocks that will make you money, how to start investing with small amounts of money and make massive profits, how to get over the fear of investing, and so much more. So if you're down with me, I want to learn more and say, hey, you know what? It's time that stop being broke and really wake up. I want to connect with you, Schneidine, on a deeper level. Send me a message on Instagram. I'm going to type it now, how to contact me and everything else. And also how to register for my class, which is next Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. I hope this was useful to you guys, and at me. So I'll leave the information now in the chat, and I'm good to go. Thank you for allowing me to share this. Hi guys.
Thank you so.
Thank you.
Did you guys like that? Was that informative?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Very.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much, Nadine. That was so informative. And it's perfect because it leads us right into the next speaker, which will be Andre, who will be teaching us about Black wealth, blockchain, cryptocurrency. So we're going from the stock markets and we're leading into how we can get that generational wealth. And of course, then we're gonna end with Malaysley. So again, make sure you guys are writing any questions that you have so that while we have them, because they all have obligations after this, while we have them, they can answer it in the chat. So please make use of the chat. Andre, I don't know if you want everyone to be unmuted as well, but if not, let's hit that mute button so we can give him our undivided attention, because I'm Black, you know what I'm saying? So I want to know, I want to know a little bit more about Black wealth. I want to know how I can, get the best bang for my bucks, So we're going to go into, and also, Andre, if you don't know, he has another company, Follow the Culture. That's part of my media team. So we do a lot of things together. He also works for Verizon. So yeah, he's well-versed in a lot of things. I know this is something he's very passionate about, and we've been trying to work together and try to find a way to incorporate urban blockchain in some things that I do. So this was a perfect event for him. He's excited, and I'm excited to have him. So without further ado, Andre, please take the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Hello, everybody. Honestly, it's going to be hard to follow up after Schneidine. Did I say it right? It's going to be hard to follow up after you. I love the energy. I love the affirmations. Everything was great. So thumbs up, thumbs up. But let me go ahead and share my screen. Silva, thank you for that introduction.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Andre. You just something, and I apologize, Silva. Can I take it back just a second? I have to do my closing. 2 seconds. Can I take that?
Wait, I can't hear you. It's cutting in and out. You said something about clothing?
I'm sorry. I have to do my closing. Can I get 30 seconds?
Posting?
Closing.
Oh, closing. Okay, yeah, go ahead. 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, Andre. The last piece is the declaration, which is my S formula. It's a declaration of financial independence. And if you guys could write it up and repeat after me, please. I declare I will dominate over my money.
I declare I will dominate over my money.
Dominate over my money.
I declare I will make better financial decisions that benefit me.
I declare
our financial decisions that
benefit.
That benefit me.
I declare I will thrive in everything I do.
I declare
I will thrive in everything I do.
I declare I am financially free.
I declare I am financially free.
I declare I am debt free.
I declare I am debt free.
I declare I am successful.
I declare I am successful.
I declare I will win.
I declare I will win.
Because I was created to win.
Because I was
I was created
to
to
win.
win. Yes, I
Bam! Thank you
Bam.
guys so
That's the
much for having me.
closing.
Bam!
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. All right. Now.
If you felt bad before, Andre, I hope you feel worse.
No,
Nah, but go ahead. Go ahead, Andre.
that was amazing though. That was amazing though. I love it. I love it. That was a great interruption. But do you have to make me the host for me to share or no?
You should be able to share. Yeah, you should be able to share. It should be at the bottom, the green square.
All right.
There you go.
You see that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So as she said, I'm going to talk about blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. This is a passion that I have. It's game changing for one. I feel like us as Black people or colored people need to be into it more. Only like 1% of the world is actually into crypto and blockchain itself. So just imagine if 10% was to be involved. So that's the mindset that I want us to have. It still is in its infancy. It is volatile. So we have to be aware of that as well. But hold on, give me 1 second. I just need to figure out how to work this. All right, good. So I have a disclaimer. So this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. None of this information should be taken word for word as financial advice, as I am not a financial advisor. As she said, I am a crypto enthusiast, but I have done extensive research. I've been into cryptocurrency since 2016. I've traded, I've lost money, I've got scammed. So I've been through it all. So I could tell you the ins and outs. But please take the time to do your own research in order to make the right decisions for yourself, because everyone has different goals and financial views. So the first thing I want to break down is like money. What is money? You know, we all know what money is, but we don't really know what money is. And then what is fiat? And I'm not talking about the car company, but money is an item of like a verified or verifiable record that is accepted as a mean of payment for goods and services. So back in ancient times, they used shells and whatnot in the barter system. So money could be different forms. It has changed and evolved over years. Fiat is paper currency established as money by government regulation. Fiat doesn't have value and only has value because the government maintains its value. So fiat is actually like a Latin word, and it means like what will be, or to give like authority to something. So because the government is the authority, they deem money. And of course, USD, which is the US dollar, is, you know, the most powerful, of course, and a lot of other countries are pegged to that. So that's just a little history about money and fiat. Now, what is blockchain? Now, pretty much essentially, it's a record keeping technology, right? Blockchain is a digital distributed ledger, which means it's shared. It's a chain of blocks linked together by a network of multiple computers. Each block contains information on transactions. Each block can store thousands of transactions. So essentially, each block has a code that's attached to the previous block as to why it's called a blockchain. And pretty much what it is a ledger. I'm sure you guys know what a ledger is. It's just a record of transactions. So it's a digital ledger, but it's shared. So it's not one entity that's controlling it. It's considered decentralized and not centralized to one entity. So the benefit to that is that everyone that's on the network can see the blockchain. So it's full transparency. 1 second. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes.
Okay. So why blockchain? As I was saying, it's decentralized. So instead of having a centralized entity keeping records of transactions is shared amongst a network of computers. They all use a consensus algorithm to come up with what's true about the transaction. So there's what they call miners, and they participate in solving these algorithms to confirm the transactions. And once the transactions are confirmed, it goes through. So everyone pretty much has to agree. So there can't be any manipulation pretty much, and no such thing as like double spending and things like that. So, you know, like I said, everything is on the record and it's on the blockchain. So it is transparent. So some of the blockchain benefits are like enhanced security, transparency, as I said, increased efficiency, reduced costs, And what is Bitcoin? So moving into that, it's a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. Now, I just want to go back a little bit because I know it is a mouthful. Blockchain is a lot, but it's very simple to be totally honest with you. So just to back up, give me 1 second. So as I was saying, blockchain's definition is actually easier to understand than it sounds. Each new block that's created has something in the code that links it to the previous block, creating the chain. Blockchain has been around for 10 plus years, actually been active for 10 plus years, but the technology has been around since 1991. But there was no real use case for it until Bitcoin came about. So there's no one person that controls the community, or the community is in control for that matter. So no one person controls it. Each computer connected to the network has a copy of the blockchain or the ledger. And even if you're not connected to the network through the mining or whatever, you could still see the blockchain. It's public record. Essentially, there's thousands of copies of the ledger. So it's not just one copy, and it can't be manipulated by one person. So it rules out all corruption pretty much. And moving forward, the goal of blockchain is to allow digital information to be recorded and distributed, but not edited. So as I was saying before, records are available on the blockchain and can only be updated by consensus, which means everyone has to agree. It's one ledger that everyone has access to, the more productive and less confusion and also less clutter. So no need to spend money on third parties or the middlemen, pretty much. So Bitcoin, acts as a medium of exchange. It's a measure of value, a standard of deferred payment, and also a store of value. So it does act as those different things. And those are some benefits as well. Now, Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency or decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator. It can be sent from users or user to user, so pretty much peer to peer. Bitcoin is not physical, so there's no physical Bitcoin, although you can buy gold coins that are themed with Bitcoin carved on it, which is pretty cool as well if you're into gold, which I would recommend learning about as well. It only keeps balances on the public ledger, a collection of computers that run the Bitcoin code, and that's called the blockchain. So just to understand a little bit more, with Bitcoin transactions, you have public keys and private keys, which is like an account number and a PIN number. Public key is public for everyone to see. So it's public for the world to see, or published for the world to see. So if you wanted to send me Bitcoin, I would give you my public key. Now the private key should be guarded like a secret. So pretty much what that is for confirming transactions, whether you're trading, buying, or selling. Now, Bitcoins are created through a process called mining, as I was saying before. Those miners have to solve the algorithm, and once they do solve the algorithm, they get paid out in Bitcoin. Now, some of the benefits of Bitcoin are the accessibility, being that you can send Bitcoin via smartphone or computer. Bitcoin is available to users without access to traditional banking systems. So think of areas like Africa or South America that might not have access to a bank, but they do have access to Instagram because we see them following us, they're liking our pictures. Instagram is global because of the cell phone. And things like Cash App, as you mentioned, and Venmo are actually helping people that don't have bank accounts be banked. Now, another feature or benefit is no banking fees. So it's like there is fees, there's like a maker and taker fee, which they call it, is when you actually buy a crypto or Bitcoin, but other than that, there's no fees. So you don't have to worry about overdraft fees, you don't have to worry about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees or anything like that. There's low fees to send money abroad. So that's called remittances when people send money back home. So for all my Caribbean people, you guys know about that. And for other cultures like Asian, Hispanic, whatever it is, people that originated outside of this country, they tend to send money back home to their family. And what do they use? MoneyGram and Western Union. And if you're sending like $1,000, just think about what the fee would be, anywhere from like 5 to 10%. I'm not 100% sure, but it is pretty high. So with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you can send money across seas with little to no fees. user autonomy. So that means it's pretty much anonymous. So although the blockchain is public record, the code, which is the public key, is what people would see. So you won't actually see anyone's identity, which is cool as well. So, you know, your transactions are discrete, or your purchases are discrete. Now, there's a lot of negative talk about that because a lot of cryptocurrency has been used for like money laundering and things like that. But honestly, the US dollar has been used for money laundering as well. So, you know, anything that's a form of money can be used to launder if someone could get around it. So, I mean, that is fair, but, you know, if you do your research, you should be fine. Now, why is Bitcoin valuable? So one, it's disruptive and innovative. So if you think of like Uber was disruptive. You know, that was disruptive to the taxi industry. Think about Airbnb, that's disruptive to hotels and whatnot. So another thing that makes it valuable is the scarcity. So Bitcoin is only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever created by the process of mining. So that creates scarcity. So with basic economics, or the basic laws of economics, with supply being limited and the demand going up, so does the value. So that's just a basic indication as to why Bitcoin is valuable. Now, as I said, it is volatile, so you know, be wary of when you want to purchase. Similar to stocks, you know, buy low if you want to sell it, sell high, or you can hold on to it and go throughout the turmoil. But over time, you know, your investment will grow, and that's a great segue for the next slide, because I just wanted to show you guys how Bitcoin has performed against other assets. So even though it is extremely volatile, so in 2017, the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed to 20,000, and then it fell to as low as 3,000. And a lot of people that, you know, jumped in got burnt, as typically would say. But overall, it has outperformed every other asset class by 10 to 20 fold. So if you could just take a look here, it's outperformed the NASDAQ, S&P 500, gold, you know, everything. And that's 2019 and 2020. Now, me personally, I'm not against any of these things because I believe in diversity. So I wouldn't tell anyone to put 100% of their money into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That would be a little asinine. But should you have a portion of it? Yes, I would believe so. And just like when it comes to stock investing, as you said, you should diversify, you know, get some consumer goods like Nike, or get some financial. So you have to diversify. So you can't always put all your eggs in one basket. Now, this is just a comparison to Bitcoin, gold, and fiat, which is money. So these are some of the benefits. So it's fungible, which means it's interchangeable. It's non-consumable. It's portable. It's actually very portable. It's durable. You can't really break it. It's on the network, and you know, you can't really destroy that network. It's highly divisible. You don't have to buy just one Bitcoin. You could buy fractions of a Bitcoin. So if you only had $5, you could put $5 towards Bitcoin and accumulate more. It's secure and safe. It's easily transactable. It's scarce, as I was saying. It's not sovereign because it's not government issued, and that's one of the biggest difference. And it's decentralized, and it's smart overall. So this is just a comparison with money, gold, and crypto. And they all have their benefits for their reasons. Gold is good if you want to hedge against certain things like the recent economic crash that we had. Fiat, you're going to need cash to transact. So, you know, all these things are needed. So you can't negate one or the other, but this is just to show you the benefits. Now, this is more of the exciting part. So how to make money in crypto. So there's investing. You could take the long-term position on Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency by buying and holding. History has shown that crypto markets is extremely volatile, as I was saying before, in the short term, but over the long term has tremendous potential. So because of the inherent volatility, long-term investing is one of the best approaches. As with any investment in your portfolio, crypto investing should be based on your risk tolerance and investment goals. And we have trading, which is like short-term buying and selling, similar to trading stocks. The only difference is it's similar to a currency, so it's not like the stock market where it has hours. It's actually 24/7. The volatility does create for a good trading market if you know what you are doing. But like I said, it is short term and it is volatile. So you would have to have some technical analysis skills, which is like reading charts and candlesticks. That's something that I could get a little bit deeper into, but I'm not a total expert, so I wouldn't lie to you. I could tell you what I know, but that's about it. Then there's CFDs, which is kind of like futures. A contract for difference, where you speculate on the direction of an asset's price without actually holding it. And you could either take a long-term or short-term position on that. And then we have passive crypto income. So we have staking, which is similar to mining. So mining, which I was talking about, is creating more Bitcoins or more cryptocurrency. Now that is the use of proof of work, which is actually solving the algorithms, having a big, what they call crypto farm. So I don't know if you ever seen pictures or if you watch the show Billions, they had like a big crypto farm with a bunch of, computers all over the place, like a data center. So that's pretty much mining. Now with staking, which is like the next level of cryptocurrency, it's actually more cost effective. And pretty much what you have to do is just lock up your coin on the network or that wallet, and you get paid out in interest for doing so. And the benefit of that is it actually helps the network to be more secure, locking up your cryptos on that particular wallet. So I know it might be going over your head, but I can explain it a little bit more in detail. This is just the basics of it. Then there's crypto lending. So you can lend out your cryptos to other investors and earn interest on that loan, sorry. And then we have mining, which I said is the proof of work. So that's more of the basic or the traditional way, proof of work. Proof of stake is more of the newer way, which is pretty much passive income. Moving on. Now, you could actually make money in crypto in the stock market as well. So it's not only about crypto. So, when we talk about generational wealth or Black wealth, we have to look at all aspects. And when we look at a certain industry, we have to look at all aspects as well. So breaking down blockchain, believe it or not, there is tons of companies that are invested in blockchain. If you watch CNBC, you might hear certain people talk bad about it. You might even hear Warren Buffett, which is one of the, the best investors, in my opinion, even talk bad about it as well. But like I said, it is disruptive and innovative. At one point, trading online was a scary thing. Like when TD Ameritrade came out and Scottrade came out, people were scared of trading online. So, new things always scare people, but you have to take the time to do your research. So these are just a few companies that have been investing in blockchain or cryptocurrency that you can invest in and take advantage of the wave of blockchain or cryptocurrency. So over the past 10 years, a lot of companies have been springing up. Overstock.com was actually like one of the first companies to accept Bitcoin as a payment. Companies like IBM have commercials about blockchain, and it's been on for over a year now. Bank of America has blockchain patents, so does Santander. The company NVIDIA and AMD, those are smart chip companies, and they make what are called like semiconductors. And as I was talking about before, like the big crypto farms with all the data and the computers and whatnot, these particular companies make those chips for those computers. So not only do they make gaming chips, they also make these. And me personally, I've invested in both of them, and I've made a good deal of money invested in AMD and NVIDIA. So there's other things like DocuSign, which is digital signatures, which has been great during the pandemic. Working for Verizon, that has actually been great when it comes to like signing contracts and things like that. We have Alibaba, PayPal, which is actually going to allow you to start purchasing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency soon. Grayscale Bitcoin is like a fund that invests in Bitcoin. There's Visa and MasterCards that allow you to spend crypto, or you could leverage your crypto to spend dollars. The Square app, which owns Cash App, you could actually buy Bitcoin on the Cash App as well. So there's a lot of different companies. And I know you guys see Ford, BMW, and Jaguar. So those companies are actually testing with blockchain companies as well. So it's innovative, as I said, and it's something I don't want our people to miss out on. Because when I go to like different conferences, or if I watch videos on Bitcoin and blockchain, really don't see people of my color that look similar to me. And there are some here and there, and I try to connect with them, but I would like to see more. And like I said, it is a mouthful. It is a lot to take on and to understand, but in all actuality, it is kind of simple. Now, these are ways that you could buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So we have Coinbase, which is the most secure, the easiest way to purchase Bitcoin in the US and other currencies. And it's one of the biggest exchanges, and it's the most respected. So one of the first steps you could do is download a crypto wallet. So there's software wallets, or what they call soft wallets, or hardware wallets, which is a hard wallet, which is similar to like a device or like a USB where you can store it. But platforms like Coinbase, they actually have a wallet as well, so you could purchase through them. Now, pretty much just create an account. Really what you need for these accounts is just like a photo ID and a picture of yourself, like a selfie. So it's really easy to sign up for these platforms. And the reason why they ask for that is for your security, pretty much. Now, we have Gemini, which is pretty popular as well. There's these twins that are big in finance called the Winklevoss twins that created this company. Then there's crypto.com, which is a platform where you could earn interest on the crypto that you have, and you can actually purchase as well. So it's a mobile exchange, and it offers lending, and it also has a Visa gift card, and the card is actually metal. And what's really cool about this card is if you stake, as I was saying before, a certain crypto or coin, you actually get rewards for that. And one of the rewards is Spotify. So if you use the card to pay Spotify, they will pay you back in crypto. And then depending on the level of cryptocurrency you have in that account, you could then get Netflix for free. You could get discounts on Expedia and Airbnb. So, things like that are really cool. And as I said, these companies are seeing the benefits of crypto and blockchain, and they're taking advantage of it. Then there's Binance, which is really popular as well. It's more of an international exchange. It is a little more technical, a little more confusing than the ones at the top, but it is very useful because it opens it up to a lot more cryptocurrency. The thing I like about Coinbase, Gemini, and Crypto.com is that these coins have to go through a vetting process. So at one point, there was a lot of BS coins, or what they call shit coins. Sorry, Silva, I had to say that. That's the term for it. But those are like scammers that created like ideas and with no actual program or platform, and they stole people's money. So that's kind of why crypto has a bad rep. That's kind of why the market shot up in 2017 and just shot down, because those criminals took the money and ran, pretty much. So I would recommend personally using Coinbase, Gemini, and Crypto.com. But you also have platforms like Robinhood, which allows you to buy cryptocurrencies, and the Cash App, which I think are trusted platforms as well. So that's how you could buy crypto. This is just a basic breakdown of how blockchain works. Silva, how am I on time? Am I good?
I want to say let's cap it at like 3 more minutes, just so we have time for questions at the end, if you can.
Okay, no problem. So if you want, I can share the slides with you guys as well. But I just want to fast forward to one of the altcoins or other cryptocurrencies. They call them altcoins as like alternative coins. So what Ethereum is pretty much like a developer's playground. So what they call it is Internet 2.0. So Ethereum is an open platform which allows you to create apps, which they call decentralized apps. And they have something which is called smart contracts, which is programs on the blockchain that can be executed automatically when certain conditions are met. So this is really cool because if you, like, I'm into music, and as she said, I have a media company. Smart contracts could benefit musicians, because what can happen is if you have your song on like a platform or a TV show or whatever it is, you sign a smart contract, and what happens is there's no third party, so you don't have to worry about someone monitoring that contract or someone manipulating the contract, and whatever terms you agreed upon, that's what's going to be agreed upon, pretty much. So you don't have to worry about your money being shorted or anything like that. So your royalties will be guaranteed, pretty much, which I think is really cool. And some of the benefits are speed, security, paper-free. But smart contracts could benefit things like real estate. You know, say your grandparents left you something in their will. Being that the deed is on paper, it can get destroyed in a disaster. If it's on the blockchain with a smart contract, no one could actually destroy it. So those are things that, you know, I would like people to think about when they think about crypto and blockchain. And I'll wrap it up in 2 more slides. This one slide pretty much shows the companies that are working with Ethereum. It's called the Ethereum Alliance. So I'm sure you guys recognize a lot of these companies like BP, where you get your gas, JP Morgan, Santander, Intel. So it's a bunch of different companies working with them. And just to wrap it up, these are the different industries that blockchain and crypto could benefit. As I said, there's smart contracts, which gives you digital rights. So that could help out with media. There is security. So actually, you know, real estate and things like that, or debt and whatnot, can be put on the blockchain as well, so they can be manipulated. There's digital currency as far as e-commerce. It creates a whole new token economy for us to make money, and for us to have money that's not associated with other entities, and we could create our own, you know, banking systems. And as I said, record keeping, so we don't have to worry about fraud or shiesty, you know, actions whatsoever. So I do have a couple more slides, but for the sake of time, I'm going to wrap it up here. But if you have any questions, feel free to let them go.
Thank you. I would say after Malaysia goes, if everybody doesn't have any place to rush off to, you can like go into your slides. But they just have to go, Nadine and Malaysia. So I just want to make sure that they got the opportunity to talk and everything like that. But so thank you so much, Andre. Also, the same way Nadine offered, you know, like some free goodies and access to certain things. Urban Blockchain definitely wanted to give you guys ebook, a look into his ebook and stuff like that. So everybody who registered, that's why it was so important for me to get you guys' emails. I'm going to be sending him your emails, so you'll be able to have access to his ebook, courtesy of Urban Blockchain and Andre. So thank you so much for that. Again, continue to submit questions, right? Converse in the comments, put your Instagrams. I see people connecting already, but without further ado, I have to introduce Malaysia, my personal, she is my personal financial advisor. She has got me a long way, and I'm sure we have a long way to go because I'm slow, but she has done a lot for me in the year and change that I've committed to, you know, connecting with her. And she has a lot of knowledge, and she's going to bring it kind of back and start off with, you know, why we need financial literacy in the first place. And then she'll get into, you know, more long-term investments, retirement, and things that I feel like at our age, you know, everything else is necessary, but like this stuff too, I just wish I would have had access to, you know, younger, so that I could have, you know, planned for my older self and my future family. So thank you so much, Malaysia, for being here, and please take the floor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joan. You know I love you and I appreciate you. Also, I have to just acknowledge you for putting an event like this one together, because there's such a need for financial literacy education. You know, and I want to also thank Nadine and Andre for their contribution, because I learned a lot too, right? So thank you so much for sharing. And I have the honor of sharing as well. So just to introduce myself, my name is Malaysia Sid, and I'm part of the National Campaign for Financial Literacy, where originally our goal was to financially educate 1 million families by the year of 2020. We achieved that goal. And so now we have a goal of educating 30 million families across the US and across Canada by the year of 2030. And the way that we're doing that is many different ways. We have centers all across the US, all across Canada, And we put on workshops. We have free workshops every single day of the week, even in the middle of this situation with the pandemic that we've been experiencing. We've had daily workshops for free, which I'll share that information at the end so that you can take advantage of that too, right? I know that if you're here, it's because you're looking to grow, right? You're looking to always improve. And I'm the same way. For me, I've always thought about my future, right? I've always been someone who thinks about my future. I know that where I am right now has everything to do with the decisions I made in the past. And isn't that the same for a lot of us, right? So just to start off, let me start by saying this. The truth is that financial literacy is a #1 economic crisis in the world, and also in the US, right? So a recent study actually said that only 30% of people in the world are financially literate. Only 30%, right? That's alarming. There's 7.5 billion people, over 7.5 billion people in the world, yet more than 5 billion are not financially educated. But is it surprising? Because the truth is this: out of 50 states in the US, for example, only 17 make it mandatory for high schools to offer at least one personal financial class. Okay, I don't know if any of you took personal finance in school. I didn't, right? And the truth is also this, that even when we go to college, by the way, if you hear background noise, it's because the train is right outside my window, so bear with me. Can you hear me though? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So I was just saying that even in college, right? Even in college, if we go to school for finance, we're not taught to manage our own money. We're taught to manage a corporation's money, a company's money, not our own. And so for that reason, a lot of us unfortunately struggle and have to learn through trials and errors. And when it comes to learning through trials and errors, that costs us a lot of money, right? So I'm so glad that all of us are logged in tonight to learn. So what I'm gonna do is, like Joan explained, I'm gonna take it back to the basics, some fundamental concepts that we need to understand to be able to build a strong financial foundation. And I do encourage you to have a pen and paper, because I will be going through some concepts that you may want to, go back to later, okay? So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Do you guys see my screen? Yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna go through some concepts in this PDF book here. And I also will be sharing this PDF book with Joan so that she can share with everyone else. Okay, so it's called Saving Your Future. It teaches the basic principles of building a strong financial foundation. And I want to start off with some statistics as to what is the current picture financially, right, for a lot of us in the US. In the US, the picture is very gloomy. 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. That means 1 in 3 people, okay? And 39% carry credit card debt from month to month. And only 59% of adults say that they have savings. That's very alarming, right? Especially right now in the middle of the pandemic. I'm sure these numbers skyrocketed, right? Because we were not prepared for something like this to happen, right? Unfortunately, so many people lost their job, lost their income. But the truth is that there's a way to get out of the situation that we may find ourselves in. It really is through financial literacy education, through understanding the importance of self-security, for example. So we're going to talk a little bit also about retirement, things that we want to plan for in the future, right? The traditional pillars of retirement have changed. I want to show you this really quickly. So there were 3 things that people used to rely on mainly when it came to retirement. And it's expressed here through this illustration of the stool, okay? So it used to be company pensions, Social Security, and personal savings. Now, when it comes to company pensions, fewer and fewer companies are offering company pensions today. I want you to think about your own situation. Do you have a pension, right? Do you have a pension, or does someone your family member have a pension? The truth is that fewer and fewer companies are offering them. Now, when it comes to Social Security, it's something that, we're paying taxes. Part of our money is going towards Social Security. And it's something that a lot of people are receiving right now. But who's retired? Baby boomers currently. And it's in their name. They're called baby boomers because there's a lot of them out there retiring. And projections say, unfortunately, that by the year of 2035, Social Security is going to be scarce or completely depleted. right? Which means that if we can't rely on company pensions and if we cannot rely on Social Security, then what do we rely on? We rely on our personal savings, on our personal investments, on understanding how money works and taking matters into our own hands, right? Because let me ask you, who's more invested in your financial future than you are, right? Nobody but you, right? You're the most invested person in your own financial future and stability. And the truth is that we all know how to make money. We make money by, having a job, maybe starting a business. Some people are good at saving money. Others are not so good at saving money, right? Don't feel bad about that. The truth is we all have to shift from being spenders, right, to being savers, right? And now when it comes to growing our money, I love that we talked about so many different investment vehicles that are accessible to us out there. I'm also going to be sharing a few others with you, but it's important to grow our money and also to protect our money. And I'll get into that in a moment. But one very key thing, right, that every time I sit down with a client, I go over is the financial foundation, right? We cannot forget about a financial foundation. It's like building a house, right? If you're building a house, you want to make sure that the base is strong enough to hold the infrastructure that in the case something happens, your house will not just crumble, right? So it's the same with our finances. We want to make sure we have a solid financial foundation. And in the case that something happens, we have peace of mind, financially speaking, right? And so at the base of the foundation is what's called protection. Now, let me ask you, if I were to ask you, what's your biggest asset? And you can open your mics, by the way. What's your biggest asset? What would you say? And if it makes it, if it's helpful, I'll just share a brief, definition of what an asset and a liability is. An asset is what puts money in your pocket. It has monetary value, okay? Now, a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It's a claim on your assets, okay? So if I were to ask you, what's your biggest asset, what would you say?
My savings account.
Yes.
Someone says your savings account?
Yes, definitely savings.
Savings?
My business.
Your business. Anyone else want to take a guess? Those are good guesses. Okay.
My skill set.
Your skill set? Okay. I love it. So
I have one.
Okay.
Yeah, your personal self.
What do you mean by that?
In a sense, when people say that, oh, they want to invest in themselves, they can actually they see themselves, their self-efficacy, in a sense,
Okay.
that they're betting on themselves.
Got it. Those are all good, right? But what if I asked you, if you could not, God forbid, if you could not get up in the morning for the next 2-3 months, 4 or 5 months, right? And go to work or go to do your business, right? And produce, right? Would your job be able to pay you? Or would you be able to make money in your business? If you did not have the capacity health-wise to do the work, to produce, would you still have the income coming in, the consistent income coming in, right? Nope. That's something to think about, right? So in reality, our biggest asset is ourselves, our health.
Health, yes.
Right? Our health
and wellness.
Our ability to be able to go out there and do the work.
Yes.
Right? Our biggest asset is our health. Because think about it, if you could not get up in the morning, especially for those who are parents, right? Or who have someone who depends on them in any capacity financially, if you did not have the ability to do the work to get an income, would you be able to provide, right? So at the basis, you want to have proper protection in the event of disability, in the event of a health complication, health issue, or even premature death, right? So that is the basis, especially because, let me tell you this, the number one reason in America for why families go bankrupt is because of medical conditions that they were not readily prepared to handle financially. Because medical expenses are very expensive. Right?
Right.
So protection is at the basis. All right. Now, when it comes to the second layer, it's debt management. Why debt management? Because debt is a liability. It's something that's keeping us from saving more, from investing more money. So we want to make sure we reduce our liabilities and increase our assets. Think about it. If you're constantly paying $300, $400 a month towards debt, unfortunately, if you don't have that debt, that could be money that you're saving and investing instead, putting it to work for you, right? The wealthy always say you need to make sure your money is working hard for you, right? Now, when it comes to the third layer, it's emergency fund. And we always say you want to have at least 3 to 6 months worth at least of monthly living expenses. That in the case of a loss of a job, in the case of an emergency happening, you'd be able to take care of yourself financially. Because the truth is this, if we don't have savings, what do? We have to ask someone, right, to borrow money or swipe our credit cards, right? Now, it's great to have a credit card, but a credit card is not an emergency fund, right? It's important to make sure that we have savings, because in the case of something happening, we want to make sure we don't get further into debt. That makes sense, right? And then at the top of this foundation, we have investments, because you also want to make sure your money is working for you and growing for you, right? And I'm actually going to go ahead and talk about the wealth formula really quickly. So Joan, you can let me know if I need to speed it up. I'm going to try my best to condense this presentation because I know we're a little bit behind. But when it comes to the wealth formula, I don't know if you've ever seen this, right? I hadn't seen this before I became part of the campaign and began to get educated myself. But let me ask you, if you played any sports or any games, even if it's Uno, even if it's Monopoly, what do you need to understand to win the game? Anyone can share.
The rules. The rules, right.
Exactly. Yeah. The rules of the game, right? Now, I don't know if you've heard this, but many people refer to money as the money game. The reason why is because there's rules to it. There's rules in a formula for money. And it's this, it's money plus time, plus minus your rate of return, minus inflation, minus taxes, equals wealth. Now, one reason for why a lot of us don't win at the money game is because we don't know there's rules to it. And we don't know the rules. Right? It's money because you need money to accumulate more of it, right? And the more income streams we have, the easier that is. Now, when it comes to time, time allows our money to compound and grow exponentially. Warren Buffett always says, when it comes to time, when it comes to investments, think about it as a long-term investments, because that time is allowing your money to compound, right? For someone who really understands this, they want to make sure that every single dollar is taking advantage of time, that it's growing, right? That they're giving it time to mature and to grow and work for them. Now, when it comes to the rate of return, that's the potential growth of your money depending on where you have it, and also the potential loss of your money depending on where you have it. We all know that with many investments, right, with most investments, there's risks, right? So you have to understand what is the potential gain and the potential loss. And of course, we want to find the higher rate of return to make our money work for us. Now, when it comes to the two things that we cannot forget about because they're eating up our money, it's inflation and taxes. When it comes to inflation, do you think the cost of living is going to continue to increase or decrease over time?
Increase.
Oh, yeah. The cost of living is going to continue to go up.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. You're all right. It's going to continue to go up. And the way that I like to explain this is, what's happening is that the purchasing power of our dollar bills is decreasing. And if prices are going up, right, then you can expect to spend a lot more money in the future on the things that you can get today, right? Just like today, you spend a lot more money on the things that in the past were not as expensive, right? So if you plan to purchase a home in the future, if you plan to make a big purchase of any type, you know you can expect that you're going to spend a lot more money in the future. Therefore, you want to make sure your money is growing for you. That's why I love we're learning about investments, right? Because you want to make sure your money is working for you. Now, when it comes to taxes, legally, we have to pay them, right? But the truth is this, a lot of people say the wealthy don't pay enough in taxes, right? And everyone else has the burden of paying most, of the taxes. The truth is that's true, but it happens because of financial education. They understand, they take their time learning ways that they can legally avoid paying as much in taxes. They look for tax advantages. And I always tell my clients this, if you know that the wealthy are looking for tax advantages, why aren't the rest of us looking for tax advantages? We have to, if we want to keep more money in our pocket. So if we can understand these concepts and apply them, we can really make sure we build wealth. Andre was talking about generational wealth. This is how we do it, right? Now, one interesting concept is the concept of small changes make big money. I love that Shnaideen was talking about budgeting, right? The truth is that budgeting helps a lot, because think about it. Where does your money go? Have you ever thought about that? Your cash flow, right? There are only two ways to increase our cash flow. Either number one, we earn more money, or number two, we cut back on our expenses, right? Hence budgeting. Now, let me ask you, how easily can you spend $10 in one day? How easily? On what? Just shout it out. What would you spend $10 on?
I just spent $10 breathing just now.
It's very easy to spend $10. Very easy, right? If you drink coffee, or if you eat lunch out, right? Or breakfast, so easy to spend $10 in a day, right? But now this is what we do, because a lot of people say that knowledge is power. I don't believe that. I believe that applied knowledge is power, because if you have knowledge and you do nothing with it, it's just information. It's not helping you, your family, or your community if you're not implementing it. But if you can apply it, then you can make sure that it changes your situation, it helps you and your family, and you can pass it on to others to help them as well, right? So the applied knowledge is the true power. So if we were to sit down and go through your financial expenses and you were to figure out where's my money going, I'm sure that you can find some areas where your money is falling through the cracks, right? Whether it's $10 a day, $5 a day, whatever it is, $2 a day. But let's stick with $10. $10 a day. If you were to find $10 a day in your expenses where you can cut back and reposition that money to make it work for you, $10 a day in 30 days in 1 month is $300. If you were to place $300 in a financial vehicle giving you a rate of return of 8%, in 30 years, you could accumulate nearly $500,000. But we don't tend to think about it that way, and it's because we're not taught to think about it that way. We're taught to be spenders. We're taught to be consumers. We're not taught to be investors and savers. This is why it's important for us to self-educate, right? When it comes to financial literacy. Now, I want to just talk a little bit about the impact of time. Okay, I'm looking at the time here, Joan. So the impact of time when it comes to saving and investing, right? This is an example of compound interest and the impact of time. There's two people here, Mr. Start Early and Mr. Wait Longer. Okay, now Mr. Start Early started to save and invest $3,600 per year annually, okay, for 7 consecutive years. And for whatever reason, he stopped investing the same amount of money, right? Or any money at all in this particular vehicle. He instead let the money just sit and compound over time. Mr. Wait Longer actually started 7 years after Mr. Start Early had started, right? Saving the same amount of money, $3,600 annually. All right, and that money was also compounding, but I want you to take a look at the impact of time. By the age of 48, Mr. Start Early had accrued $128,000. By the age of 48, Mr. Wait Longer accrued $131,000. That is only maybe a $2,000, $3,000 difference. But I want you to take a look at the contribution that came out of pocket for each person. For Mr. Start Early, $25,000 was all he had to invest, right? And Mr. Wait Longer paid 3 times as much, okay? That is the impact of time to pretty much end up at the same place. The impact of time, that's why I always say we wanna start sooner rather than later when it comes to saving and investing and making our money work for us. Because unfortunately, guess what? A lot of people, when it comes to retirement specifically, a lot of people are reaching retirement age realizing I don't have enough for retirement. I cannot retire, right? Or I retire and now I have to go back to work part-time to supplement my income, right? Because unfortunately, we don't have enough money. No one's taking the time to sit down with people and show them how to properly plan, right? And I don't know about you, but I want to have a comfortable retirement, right? I want to be able to enjoy my life now and also later, right? So I need to plan for it. It's important for us to plan for it and take immediate action. Now, one more concept is the rule of 72. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. It shows the magic of compound interest, and it was invented by Albert Einstein. I don't know how he did it, but I know that it works. Okay, you can test it for yourself. It shows you how to double your money according to the rate of return you're getting on your money. So 72 divided by the rate of return equals years to double your money. Let's say you have an interest rate of 4%. 72 divided by 4 equals 18. Every 18 years, your money will double. Okay, so let me show you how that works. If you save $10,000 and you have it in a vehicle giving you 4% interest, Every 18 years, that will double. 10,000 turns into 20, 20 turns into 40. If you have it in a vehicle giving you 8% rate of return, every 9 years, your money will double. 10,000 turns into 20, turns into 40, turns into 80, 160. Now, this is great for someone to understand who's a saver and an investor. But what about people who are not savers and investors, and instead they're borrowers? Okay, imagine credit cards. How high is the average APR on a credit card? Anyone want to take a guess?
Like 20.
18 to 21%.
Yeah.
Okay, on average, yeah, it can range. Many cards are much higher, right? But on average, yeah, about 20%. Now, 72 divided by 20 is about 3 point something. What that means is this, that if I have a $5,000 debt on my credit card with an APR of 20%, it will take 3 years for that $5,000 to turn into 10,000, or 3 years for my $10,000 debt to turn into 20,000. Why? Because the rule of 72 is working against me, right? So that's unfortunately why a lot of us find ourselves in a cycle trying to pay off credit card debt, not realizing that the rule of 72 is working against us, right? But I think that if we really understood what's happening with our money, we would make different decisions. And we would use those services still, but to our advantage as opposed to the creditor's advantage, right? Because who wins in this case when someone is not educated on what's really happening with their money? The creditor wins, not the consumer, right? So this is the empowering part of financial literacy. Now, the last concept I'm gonna go over before I transition into something a little bit different is the impact of taxes, right? There are 3 tax families available to us in the US, okay? Tax now, tax later, and tax advantage. When it comes to tax now, that's your checking, savings, CD, stocks, and mutual funds. Tax later is a 401k, 403b, IRA, annuities, pensions, and long-term care benefit. When it comes to tax advantage, that's the Roth IRA, the 529 college savings account, municipal bonds, health savings account, and life insurance. Now, where do you keep your money? Just think about that. You don't have to tell me, right? Where do we keep our money? Most people keep their money in tax now only, right? Now, tax later, some people have access to this through their employer, right? And then when it comes to tax advantage, a lot of people don't know enough about tax advantages, right? And the truth is, again, we have to find tax advantages to keep more money in our pocket. Okay, so if you have these vehicles, you want to understand how they work, but you also want to understand the tax implications behind them. Okay, for example, I'll just share this quick one because a lot of the time, a lot of people are surprised when I share that when it comes to a 401k or 403b, you're not taxed now, but you're taxed later. Did you know that? Some people don't, right? And that's okay. But it's important to understand, yes, you do pay your taxes later. When the growth has accumulated, when you're about to need the money the most, you pay taxes at that point, okay? You have to plan for these things. And you have to, if you have these vehicles, you have to understand how they fit into your financial plan and your goals for the future. Now, I'm gonna take just 3 more minutes, Joan, is that okay? 3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, because I know you wanted me to share, I'm sorry?
You're good, you're good.
Okay. I know you wanted me to share a little bit about the differences between financial vehicles and life insurance itself. So let me just transition into this really quickly. Let me stop sharing and transition into this, okay? Do you guys see this? Now, every single financial vehicle serves a purpose, all right? Every single financial vehicle out there serves a purpose. All right, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. It just depends on where you stand with your planning, okay? And what you're looking for out of these financial vehicles. So there are 4 cornerstones when it comes to a financial foundation. It's growth, it's safety, it's tax advantages, and it's protection. Okay, let me just move this a little bit here so I can, okay. So stocks and mutual funds, we learned a lot about them, right? Well, you get growth. Right? So it's great when you want to save, you want to invest, get a high rate of return. It's amazing, right? You get no safety because just like you can gain a lot, you can lose a lot, right? Now, when it comes to tax advantage, it doesn't give you tax advantages or protection, but again, the growth is there. So again, it all depends on what you're trying to use these vehicles for. Now, when it comes to annuities, there's fixed annuities, variable annuities, and index annuities. Annuities are for the future in terms of you don't want to outlive your money in the future when you retire. That's one way you can use annuities, okay? In case you don't know about annuities. Now, annuities, fixed annuities don't give you much growth. They're fixed. Anything that's fixed is limited, right? Now, it gives you safety because you can never lose money in them. No tax advantages, no protections. And then variable, everything that's variable is very similar to stocks, right? It's tied to stocks. So just like it can go up, it can go down. So you can get growth, no safety, no tax advantage, no protection. Index annuities, you get growth, you get safety, no tax advantages, protection. No protection. Now 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, growth, no safety, no tax advantage, no protection. Roth IRA, you get growth, right? No safety, yes, you get tax advantages. That's why it's in that column of tax advantages, right? Because you don't pay taxes on your growth. Now, no protection. Life insurance, right? Whole life and universal life give you no growth. They're fixed items. Whole life and universal life are fixed life insurance policies, okay? And safety, yes. Tax advantage, yes. And protection, yes. Variable universal, again, tied to stocks, okay? Yes, growth, no safety, tax advantage, protection. Now the index universal life, yes, growth, yes, safety, yes, tax advantages, protection. It's why am I showing you this? It's only so that you can understand there are many different options out there that we can be utilizing for our finances, but if we don't know that they exist, we will not know how to use them or to use them to begin with, right? Now, the last thing that I want to share with you is the following, because I know, Joan, you wanted me to share this, so I'm kind of speeding through it. I'm trying my best. Let me share this with you. So, okay. Everyone sees this, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So there's different types of
Yes.
life insurances. Beautiful. Thank you so much. There's term insurance, there's permanent insurance, and universal insurance. But there's really two main types. It's term and permanent. Universal is a type of permanent insurance. At the basic level, term insurance is temporary coverage. You only get a death benefit, meaning it is the type of life insurance that most of us think about when it comes to life insurance. We think it's just a death benefit because our understanding of life insurance is actually outdated, okay? So there's term, which means it's temporary. It covers you for a certain period of time, whether 10, 20, 30 years, right? And then it expires. After it expires, you can renew it with some companies, but the price change. The prices skyrocket because you're older. You probably have health conditions that are all taken into account, right? Now, when it comes to permanent insurance, it's for your whole life, for your entire lifetime, okay? And many of them build cash value, which is something that I know Joan wanted me to share about. So cash value means you build equity within the policy that you can use later, you can withdraw for whatever it is that you want to use it for, depending on which type of permanent insurance. There's whole life insurance, okay? There is universal life insurance, there's variable universal life insurance, and index, okay? Now, I know this is a lot of information and I'm kind of zooming through it, but the last thing that I want to show you is this, because I know that Andre was sharing about generational wealth, which is super important. And I want you to consider these questions. Is there anything that our grandparents could have done to build generational wealth for the future generations, right? Had they had the knowledge or access to these services? Yeah, something like a life insurance policy is the easiest way to build generational wealth, okay? You just have to understand how many different types there are and which one is suitable to you according to your goals. You know, I don't recommend any one type to anyone. It depends on you and your goals. But I want to go ahead and give you this example of a type of life insurance where you can build cash value, okay? So let's say this one is specifically an example, okay, for a juvenile, for a child, newborn baby, right? You may open a $1 million policy for them, okay? Now, in terms of the growth, right, in the policy, let me go back to that. With these policies, you get growth in your cash value. Part of the money that you're paying monthly goes towards your savings. Part of it goes towards your protection, okay? Savings and investments. Now for this particular one, it's being run at a rate of return of 7.70% over time, okay? There are different strategies, but the purpose is I want to show you how this works. So let's say you get a policy of $1 million for a newborn baby. You have the ability of paying $4,700 a year. Okay, that's a recommendation so that part of your money can grow in the policy for you. You have a minimum of $2,600. It gives you flexibility that in the case you have any misfortunes financially speaking, you can pay your policy. You have that flexibility within the account. And then you have a maximum that you can put into the policy, which is $7,500. Okay, now I want you to see how this works. Again, it's just an example. So let's say you're paying $7,500 a year, which is more than even the Roth allows you to put in, right? $7,500 a year. This is a part of the premium that you've been paying every single year. It's just accruing, right? The premium you've paid. Remember, part of it goes towards your protection. The other part goes towards your investments. So here is the part of the money that's going towards your investments, okay? It's sitting right here. Now, in terms of what you've invested and what you can access, those are two different things. The investment part is here, but what you can access out of the investment part is sitting right here, okay? Now, I want you to take a look at the death benefit. It's also increasing over time because it's adding up the cash surrender value as time is passing, okay? Now, I want you to take a look. If you were to open something like this, all this money in the cash surrender value is money that you can pull tax-free. Okay, this, you heard me correctly, tax-free, okay? You just have to educate yourself on the different financial vehicles that are out there. This is the secret of the wealthy too, all right? Even Warren Buffett himself holds many different policies, okay? Because you can grow money into these policies and pull the money tax-free later at any given time. Okay, there are no age restrictions or anything like that. Now imagine using something like this as a retirement fund, because many people do it, whether it's college planning, right? A college fund for their kids or retirement fund, whatever it is, maybe a business fund. You can grow money and pull it later tax-free, and you can still leave a death benefit to your family. Okay, so that is pretty much what I wanted to share. I kind of rushed through it because I know we're at a crunch for time. But again, this is just an example, and I'm someone who's licensed who can help people with different strategies. If you would like a free consultation, you can connect with me. But I won't take too much more of your time. Joan, you can take it back. Take it away. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and for learning.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think a lot of people, their heads are like spinning a little bit, but it's okay. Like she said, and like everyone said, they do have resources that they're giving us access to. So they'll send it to me. I have everyone's email. Again, that's why it was so important for me to have that. So I will be sending you all of the materials, all of the links. If you want a personal consultation with them as well, with their permission, I'll share their emails so you can discuss like that. But again, my name is Silva. My real name is Joan. You call me Joan at this point. It's fine. A lot of people know me from Facebook, so my name is Joan on Facebook. But yeah, so stay tuned. Stay connected with me on my business pages. A Silver Lining Productions. That's my email. That's my Facebook. That's my Instagram. If you didn't already see, because I put their information in the chat, but again, if you didn't hear from them, please go on my pages. You will find their Instagram and other, connections to them. So feel free to do that. Thank you so much. This is my Media Entertainment Panel Series, Volume 5. So shout out to me for being consistent. Because I'm like never consistent with anything, but I feel like a lot of the things that I talk about and I make the time to discuss and orchestrate is because it's problems that I've had or issues that I want to expound on. So I know finances is definitely something that has always been my thing, because there's been times where I had a surplus of money and there's been time where I had 50 cents and I made it work, but the whole thing is to grow and be better. And when you know better, I'm saying, you do better. So I hope that we all learned something here today. Again, a Silverline Productions on everything. Silva is spelled SILVA. Thank you so much to my speakers. I know you guys have obligations, so you don't have to stay here any longer. But if anybody had like one final question, I know in the comments I was talking about tips that I use to boost my credit, one being paying my credit debt off, because I was one of those people where I'm like, yo, I'm like 1,000 or something, 2,000 or whatever in debt, right? And every time I pay my minimum, it feels like I'm looking at the same number. Even sometimes where I'm just like, all right, say my minimum's like 25, 35, I'll pay like 100 or 150, and I turn around next month and I feel like I'm looking at the same number, and now years have gone by and I'm still looking at the same number as if it's a punishment. So some tips that I, started applying for myself. One biggest thing was paying twice. So paying my due date and then also paying, I forgot what the exact word is, but right before you get like the credit report is sent out or whatever. So like right at the end of the cycle, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a way where you can actually like it can be counterproductive, but paying twice a month, and also a self-lending app. So a self-lending app is basically when you take out a loan, but it's like a loan to yourself. So every month you're paying money towards that loan. Say you take out a $500 loan on the self-lending app. It's all your information, so nobody's stealing anything. So it's like certain fees and certain like constructs still apply to the loan. So you might not leave with the same amount, like 500. It might be like 495, but you're paying yourself every month. So my monthly, I pay $9 every month to my self-lending app. I believe it's for 6 months to a year. So I don't know if anybody else, any of the advisors know anything about that and want to talk about it a little bit. But I put the link to the actual self-lender app that I use. It's literally called Self. I know there are some other ones, so I don't know if anybody wanted to talk about that really quick.
Well, I know if you want to boost your credit up before, with my partner Sunshine, since she's a credit specialist, is that everyone would pay twice in 1 month. That way it kind of confuses the creditors and saying, hey, she paid twice in this month. That also helps you with your credit. They're seeing 2 payments within one cycle. So that really does help you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have like my automatic payment like on my due date, and then I call in on my own a second time.
Absolutely. Automatic payments saved my life. I may be flagrant with my spending, but that's why I just put all of my bills on auto pay. I know people joke about it and stuff like that, but no, it's really the best thing for yourself to put it on auto pay. That way you don't have to worry about it, and once your bills come out, that's the real money that you have to work with. Like don't don't play around.
You're right.
So does anybody have any more questions? Some said, I got a Discover It card and my score popped up 134 points. A Discover card or Discover It card? I don't want to
it's Discover It, but it's a credit card. It's with Discover. It's a regular credit card. Everything's the same, and after 6 months you're allowed to upgrade. After 6 months of good payments, you're allowed to upgrade to their regular card. So it's basically the same thing with Self, but I chose Discover It because I didn't have anything else in debt. Like I just didn't have credit, and I had a low credit score because of a joint venture on something else. But that had already gone into what's it called, like whatever. I forgot what it's called, but it went into like the next thing, so it wasn't affecting my score as much anymore. And so like just by opening the line of credit with Discover, my score popped up and now I'm in the 700.
Yes, goals.
Yeah, very excited. And then I'm going to definitely be auto paying for my card.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides automatic payments, because I had wrote some stuff down, shout out to the Budgetnista. I also took her free course. So when you guys have some time, please check her out, because she definitely helps with boosting your credit score and, you know, getting out of debt. So automatic payments, paying twice a month. And then if you have a relationship with somebody, and I don't mean intimate, but if you have the relationship with somebody and you can become an authorized user on one of their cards and share their perfect credit, you know, history or score, whatever the case may be, that's something also to look into. And you can decide whether you want, if it's you or if whatever, you can decide whether you want the person to have a card or anything like that. So, you know, it's not something to where it's like you're taking out a loan with somebody or a co-signer on something. Like, no, actually don't do those. Don't do that. But if you could become an authorized user and share someone's financial history, they're not sharing yours, you're sharing theirs. That's another way to kind of boost your credit score as well. I have some more tips, but again, we are past 8 o'clock. So I know everyone has allotted for that amount of time. Snadine, thank you so much. Snidine, thank you so much again. I lost my ability to speak now. But thank you so much for taking the time. And please follow her. She has Money Talk Mondays on her page. So make sure you tune into that. And of course, follow her on YouTube. Follow Urban Blockchain to learn more about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchains. Please follow Malaysley as well to tap in about financial literacy. She drops a lot of dope tips on her page as well. And then also, you know, try to set the time in to talk to her if you do want to further, you know, your financial education. It'll be a very good experience. Trust me, my first sitting with her, I was just like, wow, I'm trash. But I'm getting better, and that's all that matters. So thank you all for being here. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Joan.
Thank you so much.
Opportunity.
Thank you. This was
And
great.
your support.
I appreciate you guys.
No problem.
I'm not gonna close it yet, so you guys can leave. Feel free to leave. I'm not gonna close it yet, just because I'm like reading the extra comments. But thank you. Feel free to leave.
No problem. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Bye bye.
Okay.